Welcome back to Poetry and Police. Yes, welcome back to Poetry and Police, like I've said before, Big up all my subscribers, loyal subscribers. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas to all my subscribers, all my viewers and subscribers. Members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, I know that you guys will be working for the holiday. Some of us will get, some of you will get the New Year's and some of you will get the holiday. But enjoy your holiday. Open your eyes. To the people of Jamaica, even though it's a festive season, now is the time for you to open your eyes more. Make your eyes festive. Because the thieves and vagabonds and the cockroaches are out on the street now. All the murderers and robbers are out now. Trying to get money to pay for Vybz Kartel show. Trying to get money to buy clothes for Vybz Kartel show. Everybody want to go at that time. Everybody want to look good. But they don't want to work for the money. They want thief and rob for the money. You understand? So lock on your purse. Don't travel with no cash. Because the thieves are out in Jamaica now, even though Jamaica is a nice country, it's a beautiful country, but it's filled with criminals. Because we are being led by criminals. I tell you that. And, people, I'm going to say this now. Manchester people. Manchester is my parish. And the murders in Manchester are turning up, and I've been saying that for a long time, that if the police department does not control Manchester, brethren, Manchester will be worse than Clarendon if you don't control Manchester. I'm going to say it to you again. The police response time in most rural areas, especially in Manchester, is too long. The police response time, because we do not have enough police posts or police stations in those rural areas of Manchester to control crime properly. Understanding the response time is too slow. I'm telling you that. So if the government does not decide to drop a police post in every little area in Manchester, it is going to get worse and worse and worse. It's going to become. I am telling you that. My little place now down in a Craighead, they have all double murder. I never see that for the day I born and grew up down at that. Understand, people? But let's go to the meat of the matter. What me I talk about today, I talk about this already in the Naya gang murder, how Naya gang murder is seen by Jamaican and popularized by Jamaican, and how people just seem to feel that justice only goes for some Jamaican citizens and justice does not go for some. That you have to be high profile and you have to be known by the public for people to want justice for you. And I never heard PJ Patterson come out and burn out the death of a little normal person yet, although he's not a Prime Minister of Jamaica anymore. I am saying now, enough respect to Barbara Gayle. Enough respect to Barbara Gayle. And condolences to Miss Gayle's family. Miss Gayle was brutally murdered. And the Jamaican newspapers and the internet is going crazy over Miss Gayle's murder. But like I have said, condolences to Miss Gayle's family, and we are grateful for her input throughout the years. But all I am saying to you, a murder is a murder. You understand? And again I am saying no. When a policeman is dead, no go on, so nobody no make up noise and go on so and keep it on the internet so long. Once a yellow tape lift, a policeman murder is stopped, is not talk about anymore, unless I buy him close friends. So you see again, people, justice always just find its way in the important corners of Jamaica. It's like not all Jamaican residents are important. That means not all murders are important. You see, the Jamaica Constabulary Force, on instructions of the Prime Minister through the Minister of National Security, would have told the police officers which murder them to put out all the emphasis on to solve. When a little common man dead round the corner, I have to say common man, because some Jamaicans are treated like common people. Some Jamaicans' murders does not even matter. Once that right in the murder book, it done right there, so. You understand, and nobody talks about it again. But some Jamaican murders are talked about for years because they are important people. They are special citizens in Jamaica. Because, as we all know, Jamaica is a very corrupt place. Probably one of the most corrupt places on earth. And people does not value the rights of every Jamaican citizen equally, brethren. And that include the police department. And this is the reason for this, is because this is coming from the government to the hierarchy of the force, where people with money are given preferential treatment. And we have seen where preferential treatment has led to the death of a detective sergeant in time past. Where a man who is arrested and charged was given preferential treatment by not being handcuffed and transported as a prisoner is supposed to be transported, just because them people, they have money. And it is spreading. It is the same thing over 360 degrees in Jamaica. It is the same thing around Jamaica. You understand me? It is the same thing around Jamaica, like a circle, where once you're poor, or once you nameless, because I nameless people, me call them, unidentified people, me call them, You understand? The people who are murdered and nobody is fighting for justice for these people. Them family ball and them bury and that's it. The authorities are not fighting for these people. The authorities are not fighting for victims who are of certain background. It's like in Jamaica, the only murder to solve is important people murder. And take it from me as a detective, me can ex-detective, I can tell you this because me work and me see it. Wherein if a businessman is murdered, the amount of police that is attached to those cases are, trust me. Alright, let me give you a case in point. I remember the murder of Sylvia Edwards back in the day. And when Sylvia Edwards was murdered as a businesswoman in the Huntsville community. Oh, Jesus, the amount of police, the whole Huntsville was on top of that murder. Not just the sergeant or the corporal or the senior constable who go up on the murder scene and have to investigate the murder. But the whole division is on top of it. The whole division, because Miss Edwards was important. She was considered important, a model citizen. She was more important than the little common man them who get murdered on the street, left, right and center. More important than the babies that are being killed and the old people who are being killed and police officers who were being killed. Because we all know so police is not a job. Being a policeman is not a job will make you get rich unless you're a criminal. So who cares about you when you dead? Because you're not nothing for half of them. Your family not nothing for half of them. The only justice a policeman family can hope for is the fact that he might have some good friends left in the job who might say, you know what, we are going to push the thing until we find out who killed John Tam. But apart from that, the authorities don't care. The authorities don't care. They don't care about they call it regular murders. The only murders in Jamaica that are given priority is when their so-called important friends are murdered, or popular people are murdered. I am not saying that we are not supposed to mourn the death of Barbara Gayle, but let us mourn the death of every other person in Jamaica that has been brutally murdered. I do not see how Barbara is different from the little man a little baby girl that is kidnapped and murdered, or an old woman that was killed in crossfire with gunmen in the area. It is no different. A murder is a murder. And a murder has victims, and every victim should be the same. And until the Jamaica Constabulary Force and its authorities start treating every murder as the same, then Jamaica not going to be better. You see, we prioritize and we segregate the country, and that's the reason why Jamaica is so violent. This is one of the reasons why Jamaica is so violent, Because the poor man don't ground there, so realize that nobody no business about his suffering and his family when they are murdered. Some man take up law in his own hand because him see that the only way to get justice is jungle justice, green justice. You understand me, I say, people? The little man in the Kingston 13 and the Kingston 11, the only justice he can get for the murder of his family is if he takes the law into his own hands. And until the Jamaican government along with the Jamaica Constabulary Force realize this and stop prioritize which murders to investigate and let all the citizens in Jamaica know that if their family members are victims of murder, then their family members is as important as the man from uptown, the politician friend, the politician businessman friend, and all those important people. When you look at common man in the ghetto, what they call them, then style them as common people, because when you're poor, they say you're common. When you look at poor man then, from down at Kingston 13 and Riverton City and Seaview Gardens and in places, is murdered. If these murders are given priorities to and treated like the uptown murders, then man will not feel like they need to take matters into their own hands. But this is what the people of Jamaica need to understand. I am telling you this as an ex-detective, and I have seen it happen where the people who are so-called important people, their murders are paid 100% attention. That is more, a matter of fact, like me say in a Sylvia Edwards murder, almost the whole Huntsby was attached to that. I worked the case. If every police is attached to all murders in the same sense, then people will feel better and people will feel that justice does not cost any money in Jamaica. And that justice does not come to you based off your station in life in Jamaica. And that's we are failing, brother, over and over and over. We are not seeing this. We are failing to understand that reason why these men took up the law, most of the time take the law in their hands, because they have no confidence in the police. It's not that they do not trust the police to carry out the investigation of their murdered relative, but they know that once they are of a certain station in life, then the police is not going to put out 100% effort in solving these murders. All the police do in these communities is appear on the scene and nothing else. And these are the reasons why murders are so hard to be solved in the ghetto, in the garrison communities, because number one, people do not have any confidence in the police department. And people do not have any trust in the police department because they do not consider themselves as important to the police in the area as the uptown people, the rich people, the people who have money. The sufferers in the communities do not consider themselves equal, or that equal justice will be laid out to them as the justice that the man who have money and a big house on the hill will get. You see, until policing jump off of the rich man table and spread out on everybody table, crime are going to kill we in Jamaica. You hear me say? Crime is going to kill us until the people in the garrison communities believe that the police is the option. Until these people believe that police value their lives and their justice the same way that they value the politician's life and the politician's friends and family's lives and their rich friends' life, Jamaica will not be different. Bob Marley said it, you know. Bob Marley prophesied this, you know. That until there is no first class or second class citizen of any nation, a war. And this is where the police is going wrong from decades to decades, from prime minister to prime minister, from commissioner to commissioner, wherein there is segregation between classes and people are treated based off their class and station in life, where they live, where they come from. When I was a young police officer, I see that happen over and over again. I joined the police department from Kingston 13. And it used to happen to me. Police used to just come and search you up and disrespect you and kick off your door. And it never stopped. And I, as a policeman, have been on raids in the Kingston 13, 11, and all the garrison areas in the Huntsby area. where police usually kick off people who are going pan them without warrants and all these things. And you learn from these things, and you watch these things, and you open your eyes and you wonder if these things are right sometimes. That you can treat the little man in the ghetto as nothing. But when the situation is changed and you have to go uptown now, you have the superintendent ensure that the warrant is ready. Because that's a different kettle of fish. Because there's respect for that man in the big house, but there's none for the man in the little zinc up lane down in a Kingston 13. So you see it, people, and this is what I am talking about. And the people, these people who are majority in the country, believes that the police have no respect or love for them. And they believe that, listen to me, justice is not for them. And they believe that justice costs money. And they pay for justice with their lives and station in life. I have seen this, brethren. Where the treatment of people in Kingston 13 is different from the treatment of people up in the Meadowbrook and all those places. You think a police are going to run up in a man up in a house up in Meadowbrook without warrant? But they used to run up in a man's house in a Greenwich Farm or Waltham and all these places without warrant. And as a policeman, them say when you go to Rome, you do what the Romans do. Sometimes when you don't know better, sometimes you have followed because you think you saw it figure. Until you realize, say, no, I don't saw it figure. And you start do the right thing. Understand me? If the Jamaica Constabulary Force, members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, does not start to respect everybody in Jamaica as equal citizen, and stop dealing with people in regards to their station or the depth of their pocket, then crime are going to kill we at Jamaica. Once a man feel that he has no justice because he has no money, come here, tell you people, me come from the ghetto too, and so people think. People think that the police don't care about them and the police no business about them. And when a man get flinged down on the street, it's up to them to get justice because the police will not deliver any justice on most occasions. So people don't even bother to talk to the police, come and tell Mr. Evans, and that them call me a Waltham. That now I'm gonna wear no matter what we tell them. You know what we call the police answer me and tell them say this and tell them say that, and they don't do nothing. And at the same time, you must remember you have corrupt police too. So when people give information and bring back the people them name. So people are scared because people are scared to trust every police because some police are criminal. And you know the thing about it is just a few of them are criminal. Few of them are some Jezebels, few of them are some germs who sell out them own police for $1,000. Sell out them own police. They are Judases. You have a whole lot of Judases in the Jamaica Constabulary Force who don't care about them matty beside them, who don't care about them squaddy beside them, don't care about them squaddy life, don't care about the people of Jamaica life. All they care about is money in their pockets. If you live hype life and drive big car with a big chain round neck. And live a life above their means. And that is a problem in Jamaica, in a brethren, because what exists in Jamaica, the segregation of class in Jamaica, that is what breathes all the corruption in the police department, in a brethren. Because it moved from one generation of police to the next generation of police. And when I am saying these things, I'm not saying these things because I'm assuming these things. These are things that I have experience of and I know of. So me are telling you that. So until the Jamaican government, along with the Jamaica Constabulary Force, delete or get rid of the segregation of class in Jamaica, a war, criminality in Jamaica will not stop. Criminality in Jamaica will excel exponentially. At this rate, at this crime rate, Jamaica will be the next Haiti soon. And if the government of Jamaica right now no pull up them socks and act with the police department to reassure Every citizen in Jamaica, especially the one them in the garrison community, because the one them uptown alright, crime not come off for them footstep regular, once in a while. We are talking about the people who are living in the garrison communities, the Kingston 11s and the Kingston 13s, the Kingston 8s, the people who have been brought up to see murders every day, and who have been brought up to say informer for dead, and who have been brought up to say every police for dead, and who have been brought up to believe that the system does not care about them, and the police does not care about them, and there's no justice for them through the police. The only justice that they see is self-justice, ghetto justice, street justice. Where if a man diss my sister or rape my sister, I'm not going to report that to police. A gunshot, I'm going to gunshot that. If a man gunshot my brother or my family, I'm not going to report it to the police. A gunshot, I'm going to gunshot that. That is the only way I can get justice. Because if I report, if the murder is reported to police, when the yellow tape lift, that done with. That is how the people in Jamaica is thinking right now. But condolences to Barbara Gayle's family. And I am saying condolences to all the people's family, all the family of the people in Jamaica whose family has lost their lives in this Christmas season, or even before, or for the whole year coming down, or for the past 10 years. Condolences. Because the government is not involved in these murders. The only murders that the government are involved in or even care about is murders of people of importance. Well, so-called importance. As if all the citizens in Jamaica are not important. We have stopped talking about the murder of Corporal Simit. We are still talking about the murder of Naya Gang. And we are still talking about the murder of Barbara Gayle. All of a sudden we need the killer of Barbara Gayle to be caught. But nobody's talking about the killer of the Corporal Simit to be caught. Everybody's talking about the killer of Naya Gang. Nobody's talking about the killer of the policeman. Nobody's talking about other murders that have been committed in Jamaica. Nobody's talking about the excitement in Manchester, the amount of murders that are happening in Manchester, and what will become of Manchester in the next few years. That Manchester probably be the next Garrison, Manchester probably be the next Clarendon. Where murders will be killing Manchester as how it's killing Kingston and Clarendon and Montego Bay. People open their eyes and observe what is going on in Jamaica. The murders are moving out of Kingston and are destroying all the rural communities where people could come back from America and retire peacefully. No, you can't even do that anymore. A friend of mine came from New York in recent times and say he was retired in Westmoreland and he was doing farming, cow farming, and the man was murdered and his shirt stuffed down his throat. He suffocated to death because he sold a cow the day and they decided to rob him and take the money from him. That's the price that man paid for returning to Jamaica to retire and do business in his country. You hear anybody talk about that murder there? You hear nobody about the murder there? Because as a returning resident, the man was not even important. So that is all I am saying. That the moral of the story, the moral of this video today is say that every victim of a murder in Jamaica, every murder in Jamaica should be treated the same way. That we should invest in the police department and invest in the training of the homicide unit because homicide is Jamaican major crime. So the homicide unit should be enlarged so we have more than one police attached to a murder, at least 4 at one time. So we can pay heavy murder the attention that it needs. That is all I am saying to you. And until the Jamaican people in these communities believe that the police is bent on granting justice to them as how the police is bent on granting justice to the friend of PJ Patterson's and the families of the Barbara Gayles and the Nayas and other important, so-called important people in Jamaica, then Jamaica will never change. The crime rate in Jamaica will always escalate. And that's why you have this last lick thing, because nobody believe that the police is going to get justice for their family, so they prefer to take it up themselves, and they go back and murder somebody for their family, and the other family go back and murder for somebody for that family, and the list goes on and on and on. The cycle goes on till 10-15 persons are killed in Jamaica. You have an all-out gang warfare over one murder. And if the first murder that happened in the chain of events, if the police had came forward and the police was staying in touch with the family of the victim and the friends of the victim and ensuring that everything was being done to solve the murder, then people would have been satisfied with the action of the police and believe in the police department and believe that the police department was on track to at least give them some kind of justice. But nobody believes that in these communities. And like I said in a video that I have done a few days ago, that Jamaicans' solution to every problem is murder, is violence. Jamaica is a very violent society, and we as a people believe that violence is the only cure, or violence is the only solution to all our problems. But like I have said, the moral of the story is that every victim of a murder should be treated as a victim. Don't matter the victim's station in life, a murder is a murder. And until the Jamaica Constabulary Force, with instructions from the Minister of National Security and instructions from the Prime Minister of Jamaica, act on every murder not according to the person's station, but because it is a murder and that the person is a victim of a murder, then the country will not be better. If you agree, you don't have to agree with me, no. Because I don't tolerate criminals around here, and I don't tolerate people who does not believe in true justice or believe in the law. True justice should cost nothing. You hear me, sir, people? True justice should cost nothing. But is that the case in Jamaica? That is the question that I am asking. And I will say it again. True and real justice in any country should cost nothing. But is that the case in Jamaica?